All right, he is Hayes Carlyon, our Jaguars beat reporter. You can read his work on 1010XL.com, his Jaguars blog presented by Mr. Rooter. And, of course, you hear him on The Frangie Show every weekday afternoon here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. And, Hayes, Jags took care of business on Sunday and took care of it in a very dominating performance.
They did, and I thought the biggest takeaways from the game is we finally started to see the young receivers kind of, I think, play above their head a little bit, which was good to see. Keelan Cole making tough catches, particularly the deep sideline one, 32 yards, knowing he's going to get hit by a safety, brings in the ball. I thought Marquise Lee played like a man possessed. I thought it was arguably the best game he's had, makes the dazzling one-handed catch early in the game, really sort of set a tone. And Dede Westbrook really continues to impress me through his first 3 games now with the Jaguars. So, Dede hadn't really gone through those struggles. It was just that he was on IR for so many weeks. But now you're starting to see, Dede coming into form. So this trio had a very impressive showing. It was against the Indianapolis Colts, who have a very shaky secondary. But still, I thought it was a good, growing showcase for these young receivers, and obviously they'll have a huge test Sunday against the Seahawks.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go right into it because the Jags are in a playoff push, looking to try to win the division and try to keep pace with the Titans, who do have the division lead along with the Jaguars, but of course they have the tiebreaker because they won earlier in the year. You got the Seattle team. There's some injuries here and there on the Seahawks, but they did just come off a very impressive win Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles.
They did, and this is a defense that still has Michael Bennett on the edge. They're still very disruptive inside. Their linebackers are outstanding. And, the Legion of Boom is missing Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, but Earl Thomas remains arguably the best safety in the game. So the Jaguars will have opportunities on the perimeter. I think Seattle's corners can certainly be tested and can be beaten. But this is still a very good defense. This will still be the best defense that the Jaguars have seen in quite some time. So it's going to be fascinating. The Seahawks are 8-4. The Jaguars are 8-4. Should be electric at Everbank Field. This is a big one. If you're a Jaguar fan, this is a game you need to be at.
Absolutely. And then, of course, flipping into round 2, where you have the Seahawks offense led by Russell Wilson going up against this Jags defense. One match in particular that might be fun to watch, especially with the talking that could happen. Jalen Ramsey against Doug Baldwin, and we know how much those two love the chat.
Yeah, it will be fun to see Jalen against Doug Baldwin. But, I mean, there are going to be matchups, one-on-one matchups that are really intriguing up and down the line when you look at that. Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell against Russell Wilson. We know, again, watching the game Sunday night against Philadelphia, how often did Russell Wilson stay in the pocket? Almost never. This is somebody who knows his protection is bad. He knows it's going to break down, and he has an unbelievable instinct to get outside and make something happen. So the Jaguars are going to be in a little bit of a dilemma. When they faced Aaron Rodgers last year in the opener, Gus Bradley elected not to have his defensive lineman rush. He was happy just to have the 4 of them sort of contain Rodgers in the pocket. I thought that was a mistake. I think you have to rush quarterbacks in the NFL. You have to get after them and just hope you can finish the play. The Jaguars have had some trouble with that the last couple of weeks against Blaine Gabbert in Arizona and against Jacoby Brissett on Sunday. Russell Wilson's better, but I still think you need to turn Ngakoue, Campbell, Malik, everybody loose to try and get Russell Wilson down, because I think the opportunity is there for the Jaguars to get 6 or 7 sacks. But make no mistake, they are going to allow some Russell Wilson runs, for big gains, 10, 11 yards. He's going to convert some, first downs with his legs. You just sort of have to live with that. But I think you have to go after him. I would not stand back and do the Gus Bradley model and hope that, you can just contain him from the pocket. The Jaguars need to go after Russell Wilson.
He is Hayes Carlyon, and again, you can read his Jaguars blog on our website, 1010XL.com. His Jaguars blog is presented by Mr. Rooter, and of course you hear him every weekday afternoon on The Frangie Show here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hayes, as always, thank you for the time.
Thank you.